Your factory's power bill is a major operational headache, and it only ever seems to go up. But what if you could turn that liability into an asset that pays for itself in just 3 to 5 years? This isn't a generic claim. Adelaide is one of the top cities in Australia for rapid solar returns. It's a powerful mix of geography, government incentives, and smart system design. In the next few minutes, we will break down the exact formula for achieving this, step by step. First, the raw ingredient, sunlight. Adelaide gets an average of 4.8 peak sun hours a day. Second, high electricity prices. Every kilowatt hour you generate is one you don't have to buy. Third, the economics have shifted. Commercial solar system costs have fallen about 40% in 5 years. So we have lots of sun, high grid costs, and cheaper systems. But what pushes the payback under 4 years? Government support. Adelaide is in STC Zone 3, a high-yield area for federal rebates. This provides a significant upfront discount. This means an immediate saving of $400 to $600 per kilowatt. For a 100 kilowatt system, that's up to $6,000 off the price. But the standard model isn't the whole story. How does a factory's specific energy use unlock even faster returns? The answer is self-consumption. Factories run machinery, lights, and cooling during the day, when solar panels produce the most. Using your own power means you avoid buying expensive grid electricity. This gives a much higher return than exporting any surplus. To maximize this daytime power, smart installers use oversizing, installing more panel capacity than the inverter's rated output. This lets the system start producing power earlier in the morning and later in the afternoon, matching a factory's long operating day. So you have optimized your system for your factory's usage. Now, let's stack more financial incentives on top of federal rebates. The South Australian government's Powering Business Grant is huge. It covers up to 50% of project costs, capped at $75,000. If your factory's in the city of Adelaide, there's another layer, a rebate of 20% of the cost, up to $5,000. Consider this: federal SRES rebates, a state grant up to $75K, and a city rebate. These incentives stack together. Remember our question about a factory's advantage? High self-consumption plus these stacked incentives is the formula for a sub-4-year payback. For factories installing over 100 kilowatts, the LRET scheme offers another path, letting you generate revenue from certificates. A fast payback is great, but what about the long game? All panels degrade slightly over time. Understanding this is key. Modern panels have an average degradation rate of about 0.5% per year. After 20 years, they still produce about 90% of their original output. However, choosing higher quality Tier 1 panels can reduce this degradation to as low as 0.3%, adding up to more power over 25 years. But none of this matters without the right installation. A Solar Accreditation Australia installer is non-negotiable for rebates and safety. A proper assessment will evaluate your specific roof, orientation, and usage patterns to ensure the system is perfectly matched. Let's connect the two most powerful ideas we have discussed. First, the operational advantage of a factory's high daytime usage. And second, the financial advantage of stacked government incentives that slash the upfront cost. This is how you get to the big numbers. Over 25 years, a 100 kilowatt system in Adelaide can save a business over $25,000. The next step in this evolution is battery storage, letting you store your cheap solar energy to use during peak tariff times. So a sub-4-year payback isn't a myth. It's the result of Adelaide's solar advantage, powerful incentives, and smart system design. You aren't just reducing costs. You are gaining energy independence and future-proofing your business against rising power prices. For a factory owner in Adelaide, the evidence is clear. The question is no longer if. You should go solar, but how soon you can start. Take the next step. Get a detailed solar assessment to calculate your factory's specific payback and see which incentives you qualify for.